Recently, BYD, they responded in a very surprising way to this big tax that they've been slugged with by the European Union. Essentially, BYD spent all this money creating basically a dealership network, trying to get in place so they can sell electric cars in all of these different European countries, and they do sell them all across Europe. All these different models. They paid huge amounts of money for marketing in Europe. I mean, massive, multi-billion dollar investment. Then the European Union comes along and says, yeah, that's all great. So what? We're going to tax you 30%. Well, actually not 30%. That's Tesla's tax rate, 30.5%. BYD's tax rate is 27.5%. Now, technically, it's 17.5%, but there is an additional 10% tax for all cars made in China. So it totals 27.5%. And surprisingly, BYD responded to this and they were like, yeah, that's fine, don't care. But BYD had a plan. And that, my friends, is the reason they didn't care, or at least they pretended that it all didn't even matter to them. Interestingly, BYD's plan involved a strategy that meant they could avoid paying even a single dollar in tax. And how do they do this? Well, here's the thing. If you manufacture EVs, or at least assemble EVs in countries that surround Europe, such as Turkey or Northern Africa, then you can get around these taxes. So BYD have sort of begun to unveil their strategy. For one, they are building a battery factory in Europe. So they'll be able to supply their EVs with their Blade battery, version 2 Blade battery, which is a lithium iron phosphate battery. It has about 24% higher energy density than their version 1 Blade battery. BYD can manufacture these batteries. They will make the cells. Of course, they'll make the cells in China. They'll ship them to Europe, to their factory there, and they'll basically package them, do all that kind of stuff. Basically like Tesla's energy division does with cells from BYD or from CATL. So that's how they'll supply their batteries there. That will mean those batteries will not be slugged with any taxes. But BYD's strategy is far more complex than that. They also are currently building a car factory in Hungary. In addition to that, BYD have just done a deal with the president of Turkey. They'll build a $1 billion EV factory in Turkey, and they're also building basically a gigafactory in Morocco. So it's obviously expensive, guys, to make cars in Germany or Italy or even Spain. Those are the key automotive manufacturing locations in Europe. BYD therefore went, well, hang a minute, what can we do about this? Well, it's cheaper to make cars in Hungary, it's cheaper to make cars in Morocco, a lot cheaper, and it's cheaper to do it in Turkey. But here's the thing. BYD won't really manufacture cars at those locations. I mean, technically they will. They'll more likely assemble them because BYD manufactures most of the parts in their cars themselves. Now, BYD have not yet revealed which models they'll be making or assembling or making, whatever you want to call it, at these plants. However, BYD's factory in Turkey will be built very, very quickly. In fact, they say that by 2026, it's only a year and a half away, they'll be making 150,000 vehicles in Turkey. So we do know as well as that BYD can avoid EV tariffs completely by making cars in these countries. Over 1.4 million vehicles were built in Turkey last year by brands including Renault, Hyundai, and Ford. So Turkey does have an automotive industry supply chain in the country. It's not like it's a new company, a new country. No one makes cars there. Basically, the Turkish government actually owns its own EV brand. So they might even be able to do a deal with BYD where BYD supply them with batteries and other parts for their locally made EVs as well. Now, this site will apparently employ 5,000 people. So the Turkish government, they are very bullish on this. They're stoked probably that the European Union has done this. But essentially the European Union, they kind of incentivize BYD to outfox them. That's what BYD's done here. BYD haven't gone, okay, no worries, we'll go and build our factories in France and Germany and Italy. They've gone, okay, how do we get around this? What are we going to do here? What's the smart play? Well, Morocco. We'll build a factory there. It's probably not much more expensive, maybe a similar price to what it is to do it in China. And what about Turkey? So this is a really smart move from BYD, and clearly the European Union's strategy, it hasn't really worked. BYD have just found a way to get around it. Thanks for watching.